Hello friends, welcome back to another episode. So today we're doing something a little different. This is the save file that I've been working on currently for my new dedicated server and just save file downloads. Now this is not going to be a full tutorial build. I have a lot of hours into the small detail on this map, but I did want to make a YouTube video here and kind of showcase what I've done and how we're coming along, guys, and we might actually add a little bit at the end of this video to some of it just so that you guys can get, a little taste of it as well. Now, as always, we use almost all IGUS buildings, with a few exceptions, and, we have just kind of focused on terrain, landscaping, different ground textures, and kind of letting the nature side talk more than actual decorations. So we have placed a few decorations down, but for the most part it has been a lot of trees, bushes, paint textures, and just letting the world speak, as I just said. So we've got a whole bunch of small little details here. Like I said, this will be a downloadable save file that anyone with a dedicated server, if you're on console, or if you're on PC, anyone can just download it and play it whenever they want. Now with this save file, there will be a little public works area in the city. I've already got that pretty much placed and worked out. And then this fully functioning farm that will have everything besides pigs. I haven't added pigs yet, and I'm not entirely sure if I will, but I truly do think that this is turning out to be my most beautiful build, guys. We're not done yet. We've still got quite a bit to do. This is just kind of a little update video here now. Everyone on the TikTok live stream wanted me to use the big silos here, so we did end up using the big silos, and I've been doing my best to actually incorporate it pretty well, and I think I've done a very good job at that. We'll see an overhead flying view in a little bit here. I just wanted to kind of walk the property and show you guys what we have been doing and working with. So in the center here, we have not touched any of this. This is all still really empty. There will be some tree groves and things like that, maybe some rocks, and possibly a small pond or water source of sorts. This right here is our seed, fertilizer, and lime building. So there is liquid fertilizer, solid fertilizer, lime right there, and then also a seed silo in the center. So it is kind of a one-stop shop for all of your needs there. We have another little tree grove over here. And we're just about back to the beginning, and we kind of just walked the outside perimeter of this save. And like I said, this is just turning out absolutely beautiful. This is just Field 1 on Iowa Plains View, guys. Nothing super special or out of the ordinary here. As you guys know, I am obsessed with Iowa Plains View. It's just such a perfect map. The field sizes are good. The lighting is absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to walk across the street here and go to our other side of the farm. You can kind of see some of it peeking out. I consider this side done, with the exception of a few small things that we might add at the end here. But here's our entrance, and you are instantly hit with just a breathtaking, beautiful, kind of overgrown scene. It is, like I said, a little overgrown, but I was kind of going for that. I mean, in the server, if we want, we could go and mow some of this and take care of it. There's another little covered storage there. And then we also have some silage heaps back here. Now, I did my best to make it look like concrete. I am going to kind of bust up some of this concrete at the ends just to really finish it off. I just haven't made it around to that yet. It is still open over here, though. Over here, there's another little tree grove. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is all basically flat, empty ground when you start on Iowa Plains View with the starter farm. This is where we are at today. It truly has transformed in so many ways. And we've done so many small things that I truly don't even think I could list all of the small little fine touches in one video. I think that it would be something that you would have to, truly just come and check it out to really understand all the time that we put into painting, just painting alone. All of these rock structures, that's just rock paint. We just raised up the ground a little bit, painted with some rock and some dirt textures. Over here is a really, really good one. I'm really proud of these ones over here. But you can see, this is not decoration rocks. This is just the ground painted. You can kind of tell when you get up close, but from further away, it really doesn't look out of the ordinary. I absolutely love how that turned out. That's something I've been experimenting with and learning. I have posted a few short clips on it, but nothing like really in depth on that. Same with like the ground painting. I posted some short clips on that as well. But I haven't posted any really long in-depth texture videos, and I think that something like that's due. So in the future here, I will be making a video on that as well. Now this is one of my favorite views right over here. I love this little dirt path and how this all turned out. You can see there's even like some little water and reflections in some of this mud. There is a little path right around this tree here. Now I did only put one tree there, the rest is bushes. It's not a very big tree. This is kind of a wide area, so I'm not too worried about getting stuck. If anything, it'll just be a single tractor or a pickup driving through there. Now we have our cattle barn here, manure heap there, and just some more beautiful scenery, guys. Like I said, this truly has turned out to be one of my favorite builds, and it's just been a build that I have kind of let go. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not trying to get straight lines or anything like that, because nothing in this life is perfect. There's no perfect straight lines on a farm or anything like that. So I'm kind of going for that older, maybe partially run down, but they're trying to keep up with it by adding some new buildings type of farm. That's kind of been my goal here. Now, you can't really tell it in the video, but actually I've also been raising and lowering the ground to simulate divots and kind of like high and low spots as well. So you can see there's a little road over here, and you can really kind of see this bump here. So you won't be able to drive too fast through the farm, which is kind of the goal. I mean, there's really no road I've ever driven on, even roads that are just freshly paved, that are perfectly flat. I mean, let's be completely honest here. There's no perfect roads in this world. So I did kind of try to make it a goal to do, you know, less perfect roads, beat it up a little bit, raise and lower it. We've got another little tree grove here. We have some bale storage back here, and you can even see that it was a goal of mine to even make like runoff. So they're driving in and out here, it drags that mud out into the gravel, and vice versa. There's some gravel that's kind of brought up into the dirt here. And I think those small little touches are going to elevate everyone's build to the next level. Now this is an auto storage bale thing. That red X is kind of ugly there, but I do like how this works. So I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, it works really good for what we're doing. There is also auto bale storage and pallet storage in the cattle barn there, as well as the auto feeding. Now, since this is the edge of the map, I didn't build anything on, well, I can't build past this line right here. This is the furthest on Iowa Plains view that you can build. You can see all my fences even end right there, and there's nothing over here. It's really tricky to even place trees over here, so I skipped it. We're just going to leave this open and kind of grassy back here. And then we have basically back to where we had started when we went down that dirt path. Now over here we do kind of have a little tree grove again, with a little old rusty broken down harvester sitting back there covered with some weeds and other things like that. Like I said, guys, I really made it a goal to not only embrace the imperfections, but step out of my comfort zone, do more painting than decorating, you know? Let the world speak for you. How would a farm look if it had ran for 6 generations? You know, something like that. I'm just trying to make it look like, they've lived here a long time, done their work, and maybe put some money back into it by upgrading a few things. Now let's do a quick flyover. It does look a lot crazier when you're flying over. That's why we did the flyover last. You can see here all the different textures do kind of make it look a little wild, but it is really kind of neat, in my opinion, how it turned out. And the closer you get, obviously, the better it looks. But you can see here how this all kind of flows. So you've got your entrance over here. You can drive all the way through and all the way around with gravel the entire way. Or you could take the little dirt path down the side for manure or to take care of the cattle in the barn. We have the cattle barn here. I didn't do a pond or anything for them. I do like how this barn is all set up. I just didn't feel like adding too much water on this build. Now over here, I'm not done with this area yet. This is going to need something to kind of set it apart. But you can see here we have our little tree grove, and it is way easier to see when we are in the flying construction mode. But it just truly all turned out so beautiful in my opinion. I absolutely love everything about this build. Now there is going to be some more trees over here to kind of fill in the side of the house here. I might actually do a little retaining wall over there as well. You can see coming through here we have a small little pond. I always put one there. I don't know why, it just kind of works. Our big main shop right there. Water source, chickens, outdoor parking, just a little covered shed. Then we have our main machine shed here. This area is going to kind of be some landscaping. This will probably more than likely be some trees over here. We're going to add some more trees right here and bushes as well. This will probably be some rocks. Over here is going to be trees and probably some more trees and bushes here as well. Shocker, right? I just really like how this is all turning out though, guys. I truly think that every single thing that we have been doing and all the time that we're taking for all these small little details and paint textures and different things that, you know, we normally wouldn't take time on doing, I think that it's going to elevate this build and truly take it to the next level. And what I've found is people absolutely love playing the farm setup on Iowa Plains View, and with that, this is going to be something that I think will get played a lot. At least I hope it does. If it doesn't, then I'll play it by myself a lot because I absolutely love how this has turned out, especially with all the fine details. I mean, right here alone, we have probably 6 different paint textures, plus grass, you know, dirt, all of that, guys. It's all mixed in, and I really do think that it'll make a huge difference in the end. So once again, we've been doing a lot of stuff that we don't normally do in our builds. So over here, we're going to continue that trend, and we're going to kind of make a little area here to make a retaining wall and have a little garden bed up next to the house. So what we're going to do is start out by making sure that this is all squared away as if we were doing a man cave. You know how it is. You got to take your time with it, go slow, and make sure everything goes up equally. Maybe we'll push this out just a hair more here. And once again, let's get them corners nice and squared away. Which that one doesn't seem to want to go all the way up there, so we'll just force it. Alright, boom. We'll come out here. Looks not bad. We're gonna come down with this one here and actually knock off just a hair. So we'll get it mostly straight. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we want it close, right? The closer to perfection that we are, the better that everything reacts. Now, at the bottom, we're gonna just add some dirt and some grass and probably some trees, obviously. It's not gonna be anything special. I just kind of thought that it might look a little nice to have a side over here with a little retaining wall. So what we'll do is get out our retaining walls. This isn't something that we normally do. I mean, we've kind of done this with one of our man cave builds and done the retaining walls all the way around the outside, but we don't always do stuff like this. So we're gonna just continue on with embracing the different stuff, right? So we'll get it about right here. Get a corner thrown down. Come down with our other side. And that was very, very simple to do. It kind of looks a little goofy there at the moment, but once we start adding stuff in, it's going to look really, really nice. Now I'm going to try and hit this whole area here with the soften tool. I don't know if it's really going to fully react very well because that retaining wall there, but we can do our best to knock down as much as possible. So we'll just quickly knock all that down. We will grab our medium grass back out now and just repaint up this area. Oop, we went a little too far with that, so we will go and touch that up and get that off of the wall back there. But that's a simple little tap. Easy as 1, 2, 3, press X or square depending on what console you're on, and it will remove any of the plants or grass that you have just planted or placed. Alright, throw our grass back down. Perfect. Now this just kind of fills in this area a little bit and doesn't leave it all empty and barren how it was. Now we could have done trees and some other stuff, but I think doing this how we did right here just kind of adds a nice little element to it all and doesn't give us the same normal boring tree groves that we always do. Maybe we'll just throw like a couple of these down. Maybe we'll make it linked so it's a little longer. We'll put it in just a hair. Boom. And boom. Alright. Easy peasy. And we do have to repaint our grass. So we will go back and grab our grass. Oh, can't click on that there. This is just simple. We could probably add like a whole grilling spot out here with like a patio and a gazebo and all of that. But I'm trying to conserve slots with this build. The less slots that we use, we're already at 1700 and we have no equipment. So the less slots that we use, the better. That's kind of why I've been trying to use plants and bushes and things like that to really fill in spots so that we don't completely consume our slot count. So we're just going to do some bushes down over here, and then maybe a couple trees, right? Nothing too extreme. Maybe we'll throw 1 or 2 of these white ones down, maybe. I hate how the bushes don't always place where you want them. Boom, boom. Those are red ones, not white ones. Thought they were the white ones. Now, since we do have it kind of bushy down here, and overgrown, we are going to throw some random little spritzes of grass. Boom, boom, boom. Easy. We'll leave it nice up top. Now, since we're this far, we should add some trees over here, right? So we get a big tree there. Maybe put something right here. Grab one of these. Throw that right there. And then maybe we'll also grab one of our yellow ones. I like these yellow ones a lot. Throw that right there. Now we've got a nice little view of our front. Little tiny area with a retaining wall. And this is really just for landscape and to walk around outside, just to fill in that area and kind of add a different element to it, right? Now, I do think I'm going to add some trees right up over here a little bit more. I guess maybe we leave it open. I don't hate that. This area probably should get some more bushes and stuff like that to kind of fill this in a little bit more. But I really do love how this is all turning out, guys. Now, like I said, we're not fully going to finish this build. We're not going to go too extreme. We were just going to add a little bit on the side here. And that's about all that we have for this video today. Now, I am working really hard in all my spare time to finish up this save file, guys. I really am excited for this to get done. It should be done hopefully very soon. I'm going to stop putting a time limit on it because every time I do, I get more and more sucked into adding more details. So it'll be done when it gets done. All right, guys. Be sure to keep on stopping by my videos for, updates, things like that, things that are going on. And I do live stream this stuff most weekdays over on the old tickety talk. You know the vibes. Otherwise, guys, if you're new here and you like what you've seen, don't forget to drop a subscription, drop a like, drop a comment, come hang out in the Discord, things like that. Come hang out while I'm live. All of this is done on console, and all of this is possible on any platform, guys. Otherwise, you guys have a tremendous night. Thank you for hanging out. I'll see you next time, okay? Thank you.